Have you ever had an experience where, in the moment, you were beyond frustrated, but you knew it was going to make for a heck of a story later? That's what this video is all about. My channel tends to focus on the more serious side of gig work, like actually turning a profit and not getting walked on in the process. However, I feel it's also important to take a step back from time to time and talk about things that are a little lighter hearted. I've been driving for about 4 years now, and I've done thousands of deliveries across multiple platforms. So, you'd better believe I've got some stories. Today, I'm going to share 2 of them. A couple quick things before we get into it. I've told both of these stories before, but when I did, my channel had less than 1,000 subscribers, so chances are, most of you haven't heard these stories before. Also, I do have a little bit of a colorful vocabulary from time to time, and when I tell stories, tends to come out a little more, so you've been warned. Story number 1 comes with 2 big-ass disclaimers. Disclaimer number 1, I'm not down on this person because of his religious beliefs. I'm down on him because he's a prick. Disclaimer number 2, if you drive in my market, you're gonna know who I'm talking about. Please do not put the person's name or the name of the restaurant in the comments. I am not trying to hurt this person's livelihood. This is the story about how a restaurant owner tried to give me an exorcism. Well, not technically an exorcism, but you know what? Just watch the fucking video. This happened a couple of years back when there were far more orders and they were paying a lot better. Considering the fact that I had already had issues at this restaurant previous to this story, the order must have been paying pretty well to get me through the door. When you first walk into this place, it's unclear if you're walking into a church or a restaurant. I kid you not, there are more Bibles in there than menus. Now, personally, I'm of the opinion that businesses need to stay the hell out of politics and religion, but that's just my prerogative. A little background about me. I love a good beer. The gooder the better. Actually, matter of fact, I'll be right back. In all seriousness, my town of about 90,000 people has about 15 to 20 breweries in city limits alone. Matter of fact, you can bring your dog into a lot of them, and even your kids. They're just kind of part of the community here. Some cities have a Starbucks on every block. We have a brewery. The specific day that I decided to swear off this restaurant, I wasn't wearing the most professional shirt in the world. There was nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't exactly professional either. It's not like it said, "Fuck you, you weird-looking prick." It said, "Make beer, not war." Anyway, back to the story. I walk through the door, and I tell him who I'm there to pick up for, and before even acknowledging that I was there for an order, he read my shirt. Out loud. And that's when his conniption fit started. Keep in mind, I'm a grown-ass man in my 30s. It's not like my shirt said, "Show me your rack." Make beer, not war. What's wrong with that? But this prick thought it necessary to chew me out in front of customers due to my attire. The ironic part is, had his eyes went just a little further south and just slightly to the right, he would have noticed the big-ass Last Supper tattoo on my arm. But no, instead, he kept going on and on about how I need Jesus in my life. Keep in mind, this was in front of customers. Now, personally, if I were to start some sort of religious organization or group, I would consider offering free snacks and cookies. Not lectures, but, again, just me. Maybe it offends me that he doesn't appreciate all the craft beer that my city has to offer. That's right, I'm pulling the reverse Karen card. Anyway, in the moment, needless to say, I did not find this situation funny at all. I don't appreciate being lectured in front of a group of people that I don't know, or actually, come to think of it, anyone. I ended up glaring at the guy and told him somebody else would be there for the order. Then I stormed out in the most determined way possible. This happened over 2 years ago, and to date, I have never been back to this restaurant. Let me know in the comments how you would have handled this situation. And while you're down there, press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I want you to take another look at the title of this video. I don't care if it's paying $100. I'm not going. There's a reason for that. While I am a very happy-go-lucky person in real life, I don't possess the ability to hide it when I don't like somebody, and that's gotten me in trouble a few times over the years. I know the chances of me running my mouth to that guy are very high. So, I don't care if it's paying $100. I'm gonna avoid the deactivation and just not show up in the first place. The second story is far less funny, and in fact, 3 years later, I'm still salty about it. This happened 3 summers ago on July 27th at 6:47 p.m. Yep, still salty. I'm kidding. I don't remember the exact date anymore, but I am still pissed about it. I got an order for a Mexican place, and I headed downtown to pick it up. If memory serves me correctly, it wasn't ready, and I ended up waiting about 5 minutes to pick it up. I used the idle time to look over the order to make sure I'm not going to miss a drink or something. Back then, Grubhub was notorious about putting drinks in the middle of lettuce, tomatoes, and onions. Basically, you really did have to look for drinks on there. In looking through the order, I realized that the customer had ordered 2 of the same item, and when they handed me the plastic bag, there was only 1 styrofoam container. I got the owner's attention and showed her that they had ordered 2 of the same item, and she assured me that the order was correct. Now, this is partially my fault because I could have pressed a little harder. But, in my defense, I don't know what they put in the restaurant's instructions, so for all I know, they could have asked for both of them to go in the same styrofoam container. Unlikely? Sure, but possible. Against my better judgment, I left the restaurant and got the order delivered. About 5 minutes later, my phone rings. Bet you'll never guess who it was. That's right. It was the customer, telling me that I had only delivered half of the order. She was obviously irritated, but the problem was, so was I. She told me that she had called the restaurant, and the restaurant threw me under the bus, claiming that I didn't pick up the entire order. I told my customer that not only did I notice that one of the styrofoam containers was missing, but I got the owner's attention and verified the order with her, and she assured me that the entire order was there as well. Prior to this experience, I had also ordered from this restaurant and was also missing an entree. On top of that, I've had many conversations with other drivers who also happen to frequently be missing items from this restaurant. Maybe it's a little conspiracy theory-ish, but my working theory is that they accept orders through platforms like DoorDash and Uber Eats, intentionally short an entree, and proceed to blame it on the driver. Either that or they're just incompetent. It just happens too much for it to be a coincidence. This restaurant was also added to my blacklist. 3 years later, and I still haven't been back. Fuck them. Trying to throw me under the bus and shit when I actually did what I was supposed to do and verified the order. Since this experience, I've learned an awesome hack that works every single time. After you complete your delivery and your phone rings, don't answer it. It's a trap. In all seriousness, after the delivery is complete, your customer has no business reaching out to you. They should be contacting support. Let me know in the comments how you would have handled this specific situation. And while you're down there, be sure to tell me about a frustrating experience you had with a restaurant that led to you blacklisting them. Before we wrap up, I truly believe that good information should be free, so I don't do a channel membership, a Patreon, or anything like it. If you would like to support the channel, please check out the description and have a look through the affiliate links. I have both free and paid options in there that make my life easier, and I think they would help you too. The one I've been using the most recently is a free app called Fetch. It's an app that'll turn receipts into gift cards. You can scan gas receipts, grocery receipts, or anything with a store name, date, and price. Once you've scanned your receipts, you can turn your points into gift cards for popular brands like Amazon, Walmart, or Starbucks. If this interests you, you can download Fetch by clicking the link in the description. My name is Zach. Thank you for your continued support.